It was supposed to be Nathan Hale's breakthrough episode. He'd been a paranormal investigator for nearly a decade, wandering through crumbling asylums, forgotten cemeteries, and haunted homes, all for the sake of his modest internet show, Spirits and Shadows. His viewers had seen him investigate cold spots, EVP recordings, and occasionally something genuinely unsettling, but never anything close to real proof. Tonight, he was determined to change that. The location was perfect, a decaying mansion on the edge of a remote town, infamous for the mysterious disappearances that had plagued it over a century. Legends spoke of a wealthy recluse who had lived there, conducting experiments on anyone who dared to enter his domain. Locals claimed you could still hear the voices of his victims echoing from the dilapidated walls. Nathan set up his gear as dusk fell, the weight of the mansion pressing down on him. Its looming presence, with shattered windows and a sagging roof, seemed to have a life of its own. Every step he took was a fight against the sinking feeling in his stomach, but his resolve only grew stronger as he connected his camera to the live stream. "Good evening, everyone," he whispered into the camera, his flashlight casting sharp shadows on his face. "Tonight, I'm in what might be the most haunted house I've ever investigated. Let's see if we can uncover the truth, or if this place is nothing but stories." The chat flooded with comments from his viewers, buzzing with excitement and taunts alike. "A fake," some said. "Another ghost hunter scam," others typed. Nathan ignored them. Tonight would be different. As he moved through the entryway, he felt a sudden chill that made his breath fog in the air, despite it being a warm autumn night. The hall stretched into darkness, framed by portraits whose eyes seemed to follow his every move. He cleared his throat. "All right, viewers, we're going deeper. This house has 4 floors, each supposedly worse than the last. If the stories are true, the real horrors are in the basement." He opened the door to the basement stairs and felt an icy breeze creep up his arm, and in his earpiece, a faint whisper echoed, like a distant radio transmission. His hand trembled as he aimed the flashlight down, illuminating the narrow staircase that seemed to descend into endless darkness. "Nervous?" He forced a smile at the camera, hoping his audience couldn't hear the tremor in his voice. More comments streamed in. "I don't go down there," some warned, but others egged him on. As he took the first step, a noise reverberated from below, a low, dragging sound. He paused, feeling his heart hammer in his chest. He leaned closer to his camera. "Did you guys hear that?" he whispered, his voice barely audible. He descended further, each step creaking beneath him. Shadows danced along the walls, growing longer, twisting into grotesque shapes. A smell hit him next, an overpowering stench of rot and decay that made his stomach churn. He could see the viewers' reactions in the chat, a mix of laughter, skepticism, and genuine fear. Then, out of the darkness, he caught a glimpse of something moving. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, but as he shone his flashlight toward it, he saw the faint outline of a figure, a tall, thin man with hollow eyes and a face twisted in agony. Nathan froze. Do you see this?" he whispered, eyes wide. But the viewers only mocked him. "Nice effects, Nate," one comment read. "Looks like your best costume yet," said another. The figure didn't vanish. Instead, it started moving closer, each step resonating like the ticking of a clock. Nathan's mouth went dry, his limbs heavy, as if he were sinking into the floor. The figure's eyes burned into him, hollow and endless. Suddenly, the figure lunged forward, and Nathan screamed, stumbling back against the staircase. He scrambled up the stairs, his heart racing, but something cold wrapped around his ankle, yanking him back down. His viewers watched, some laughing, others posting frantic messages. But the screen remained clear, no figure in sight, only Nathan, twisting and clawing at the air, seemingly grappling with nothing. "It's here," he shouted, pulling at his leg, but the grip only tightened. The chat exploded. "A nice try, Nate. I can't believe he expects us to fall for this." Others seemed genuinely disturbed. "Oh wait, is this real?" The flashlight flickered, and when it came back on, Nathan's face was pale, his eyes wide and unfocused. He looked directly into the camera, his mouth open as if he wanted to say something, but all that came out was a choked gasp. His fingers clawed at the floor, leaving bloody smears as he was slowly dragged back down into the basement's shadows, the camera following his every movement. The chat was chaos now. Comments poured in from viewers begging for someone to help, others still dismissing it as an elaborate stunt. But as Nathan's face faded into the dark, a sickening noise echoed, like bones snapping, followed by a raspy, guttural laughter. The feed went black. For several minutes, viewers stared at the blank screen, waiting for Nathan's voice to crack through, saying it had all been a joke. But there was only silence. When the authorities arrived at the mansion hours later, they found Nathan's camera equipment, still broadcasting live, but no sign of Nathan himself. They combed through every room, every hidden corridor and crumbling staircase. But he was gone, as if the house had swallowed him whole. In the days that followed, the online community buzzed with theories. Some claimed it was the most convincing horror stunt they'd ever seen, while others swore something supernatural had really happened. They dissected the video, scrutinizing every frame, hoping to catch a glimpse of the figure Nathan had seen. A week later, a viewer noticed something chilling. In the background of Nathan's final moments, they spotted what looked like a second figure, a faint, shadowy outline, watching him from the top of the stairs as he was dragged down. The video went viral, stirring up a frenzy of speculation, and people began to obsess over the case. Rumors spread of strange occurrences at the mansion, unexplained sounds, shadowy figures seen in windows, a sense of being watched. More investigators ventured there, hoping to capture the paranormal entity that had taken Nathan. None succeeded, but each one reported an unsettling feeling, a whispering presence that seemed to follow them as they left. As for Nathan Hale, he was never found. Some people claimed he had staged the whole thing, faking his own disappearance for fame, while others believed the mansion had taken him, adding another lost soul to its cursed history. Months later, the Spirits and Shadows channel posted one last, eerie video. In it, Nathan's face flickered briefly across the screen, distorted and ghostly, his mouth opened in a silent scream. The viewers watched in horror as his eyes seemed to meet theirs, pleading. Then, once again, the screen went black.